kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot-wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do, or the trouble that we get into. Other than a wild hair once in a while, we can't help it, it's just our style. Good old boys, it's all we'll ever be.
Bring it around one more time. That's it. Court is now in session.
Yep. We'll see you all on Tuesday, folks. That's it. That's the show. That's all you get today.
Quick concert.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ricky King, Marvin Mickish, Greg Garcia, first ones in on the podium. Glad you're all here joining us this morning. Going to be a great Monday. Lots to talk about. Lots
Keep going. We got to find a lady somewhere. Ricky King, Marvin Mickish, Greg Garcia, Mark Kurt, Scott Tomko. There's Lisa Poole. There's Rena Shear. Scott Snow, Judge Posey.
Good morning, Marina. James Kurth. We're huge in Italy this morning. Torrin Bales, Monty Howard. Seeing Judge Posey.
Welcome.
Brittany Posey Tanazzi, second at the Calgary Stampede in the women's barrel racing finals yesterday, comes away with nothing for the day. That's a winner take all $50,000 showdown. But she had
Give her a round of applause because that's all she's getting today, folks.
Yeah, but she had a pretty good week.
That's awesome.
I think over 20 grand.
There you go. That'll almost cover oats and gas.
Almost. And that's in Canadian, eh?
Hey, sorry.
So it's about 10 grand.
Yeah. Well, with the tariffs.
Yeah.
Trump
wonder if
35% new tariffs on
China
and Canada. Yeah. 35% coming
Junior
up.
Samples, Jarrett McCrugan, Daniel Wade White, Monty Howard checking in.
By the way, be honest. Can you point to any one thing? Can any of you? Is there anything you can point to that you go, yep, for sure, the tariff has caused me to pay more for this?
Yep.
What is it?
My coffee.
Okay. Sacrifice is good. Or you can self-deport. I don't care.
I will drink it.
Self-deport. These are first world white people problems.
Really.
My coffee went up. Oh, the horror.
Tammy Keeling, good morning. Gilbert Ramon, Joaquin checking in
Joaquin,
as well.
What's up, buddy?
There's
Gilbert.
Wendy Hughes Garcia, Linda Christ.
Great group
Andrew
of
Alvarez.
folks. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the also great folks at AT Deerland Feed. It's 77 degrees in Victoria under mostly cloudy skies, heading to a high of 92. Am I right? Have we had a day yet this year, Cody, where it went to 100?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We did
in June, I think. We haven't had one since.
Does it seem to you overall that we're having somewhat of a mild summer, even though it's hot? No, it doesn't.
There's climate change everywhere.
Right. You know, that's one thing that's true. The climate does change. There's no doubt about it.
Well, as
Nino,
Chris Marks told us the other day, it's really not.
It's not anything new. It's cycles. It's kind of like it's a lot like this. Those of you that have ever gambled, if you go to a roulette wheel and you walk up, if you walk up and you go, it's been black 5 times in a row, I'm betting red. Well, you're dumb. And they love you for that. Because if you go back and look at the last 100 rolls, it might be like 52-48. If you look at the last 1,000 rolls, it's more like 51-49. And if you go back over the last 1,000,000 rolls, I'll guarantee you if it's a fair wheel, it's pretty close to 50-50.
Yeah, and every once in a while, I'll hit that 00 green.
Which, by the way, is all they need, right? They have 2, I think now they have 3 out of 34 that don't pay. That's all you need is 3%. People, that's guaranteed money to the house.
Well, it does pay, but you got to hit on it.
Right. It doesn't matter to them, though.
No.
They don't care.
It's
They're
enough to
making
skew the black and red 50-50.
That's right. 77 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high of 92. The one place that you always win, pays like a slot machine. Deerland Feed. Get by and check them out.
Andrew Alvarez asking if I drink coffee that's been processed by an animal first. No, Tim Hortons. That's all I drink.
There you go.
Well, not all I drink, but when I can't find it, then I drink either Illy or Lavazza. Italian coffee.
Oh, he's a coffee snob. There's no getting around it.
No, I enjoy my coffee.
Do you make it with Victoria water? Look at there. I brought in a bottle. I just I drank this bottled water, and I said, I'm just going to run a tap full out of my tap. And see, is that what y'all's water looks like?
Delicious.
I made that up. That's got particulate matter from my planters out front. I was just trying to make light of the fact that we're still under a citywide boil water.
3 weeks later.
Yeah,
it'll be almost a week.
It's going to
first world problems in a way, but first world countries shouldn't be under boil water.
We must have had too much bottled water sitting around or something.
No, I've got a handful of comments. None of them are disparaging. It just is what it is. Jesus Garza, our city manager, in my summary, in my estimation, in my observation, one of the sharpest people I've ever met, certainly cares about Victoria, certainly qualified to do the job. I find Jesus to be unflappable. I find him also to be somewhat of a victim of what I call the Trump trap. Last week, he made the comment that the TCEQ, was kind of making a bigger deal out of this than it was. And people immediately seized on the economic impact of this, and they missed the point that he was making, that you've got a safe range or an acceptable range of 0.03 to 0.05. And we had one water station test at 0.02. And, to require flushing of water towers and all this, blah, blah, blah. It's overregulation. It's government overreach. It is what it is.
Is that water going somewhere that it could be used for agricultural purposes? Or is
I
this going
washed
down
cars
the
and watered my yard this weekend. I did because I can't drink it.
We went to Sam's yesterday and the bathrooms were closed. They had porta potties outside.
Yeah, it's just
and I was like,
what are people going into Sam's and drinking the tap?
That's what they're
drinking
doing.
out of the toilets?
Chug the water. No, that only happens at the detention center in Florida. At the end of the day, this is a hugely expensive screw up by the city of Victoria.
And it's either going to come down to a person screwing up or equipment screwing up.
If equipment screwed up, we're going to replace it.
Yeah.
If a person screwed up, we're going to
replace it.
They're going to get canned.
And I don't think you have to go that far, but you certainly got to make sure that they're no longer on their phone when they shouldn't have been.
No, it's
something like that. I don't know.
What I believe probably happened is that you've got some older equipment that's in charge of injecting chlorine into the system, and somewhere in there it failed.
Yeah, because some people were trying to say that, it's got to be because of the rainwater and excess dirt coming in off the Guadalupe, and here's the reason why. If that were the case, it would have been throughout the entire system, not one pipe in the John Stockbauer Miori area, right? Because that's a long way for that water to get to,
which, by the way, is
all the way across town.
One of the older water plants, the plant that's at the corner of Ben Jordan Airline.
Your plant,
the Wade and Carter, the Brent A. Carter Memorial, while he's still alive, water plant, because I went over there and did the landscaping.
That's right.
Probably why it's messed up.
But by the way, no, I'm going to point this out. The fact
tree root got in the way of that pipe.
The fact that a random citizen had to go and do the landscaping kind of shows you maybe that, that it just doesn't get the attention that it needs. And there you have it. But I will tell you this, and I'm going to say this with a hint of humility. Good morning, Sheriff Louderback. There's our state representative, the Honorable House District 30 State Rep, AJ Louderback.
Michelle Wilson Hawkins is a very good point.
What?
How many people swim in the Guadalupe, but people can't wash their hands?
Yeah, well, it's just stupid. It's just overreach.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, and I mean this, because Because now that we don't have a viable newspaper in this town, if I call you, elected official, city official, whatever, you need to call me back. Because I can make 60 Minutes look like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Well, I'm not trying to be self-aggrandizing here, but I kind of am, because when you're the only local live talk show and you passed up the opportunity to come on and talk to probably the people that voted for you.
Certainly people that vote.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this.
You missed a great opportunity.
With that said, I did have a text exchange with Jesus Garza, who, by the way, said that he brought it up. I want to come on the program, and he said probably Wednesday. Now, as I understand it,
that would be a week after this was disclosed. And here's the problem that a lot of people have come and talked to me about. Why did they wait till Friday to have a press conference? This is something that is affecting 70,000 residents. They should have been having a press conference first thing Thursday morning.
Well, they were made aware of it on Monday. They didn't say anything about it till Wednesday
night, 8 o'clock.
And by the way, nobody, absolutely nobody has gotten sick. Nobody's gotten sick.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
The chances, I mean, there's
no real conspiracy here.
I've been washing my hands. I've been brushing my teeth.
I brushed my teeth with my water.
My dogs are drinking it.
I'm over it.
Your chickens are drinking it. No dogs or chickens have died.
I mean, the eggs are brown, but it's okay. The eggs were always brown.
That's exactly.
No, I'm not in the position to tell you there's nothing wrong with your water. I'm just telling you there's nothing wrong with my water, and I drink it.
I think that's the biggest thing I've heard is that they should have been talking to the people Thursday morning when your entire city's water system is basically no go.
I'll just, in one word, it's unacceptable. It is. It's unacceptable. You got one job. I mean, I give you the potholes and they don't get repaired. The streets suck still. And
you're not responsible for the schools.
Right. So you've got one real job is to make sure we have potable water. And that's just where I'm like, hey, come on. It ain't that hard.
City's going to give everybody $10 credit on the water bill.
What are they going to give Starbucks? You think? Yeah. So let me throw one at you.
Raising Cane's completely closed down.
What do you do when you go to a restaurant and you find yourself being so from the I'm just a complete narcissist clown, Tammy Keeling types? What is your position on the STAR test?
I think we've talked about that enough over time.
Yeah. At any rate,
we're around hopping.
You go to a restaurant, you get a glass of tea for now like $3.99.
Well, that's why restaurants had to close down. This is their profit.
That's their profit.
This is what I mean. Think about it.
Yeah.
You sell 4 glasses of tea. Your serving staff is paid for 2 hours.
That's right.
Minus tips.
That is the deal. That's why restaurants try their best to have the best iced tea in town. And if you've got to serve somebody water, and it's got to be bottled water.
Now you're going to buy bottled water. Yeah. Your sodas are out of a can.
Well, you look at places like Chick-fil-A couldn't sell certain salads because they couldn't wash the lettuce. You look at places like Starbucks, they're literally closed because they have no water.
Yeah.
So take Riker with you and just Riker.
Andrew Elvis says Arby's is closed down as well.
It's okay, right?
Scott Tomko says, I was in the oil field for a year on a drilling rig. This water's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Nobody got yeah.
There's no doubt.
What was the irony when you came home from a place that's known to have bad drinking water and then you get home and you can't drink the water?
I came home and got Dwayne Crocker's revenge.
Heather Stewart checking in.
I've been told that the mayor is beside himself over this issue,
and he's promised to find out what happened and let the people know.
And I have no doubt Dwayne's a stand-up guy. I've got no doubt that we will know what happened.
Yep.
And I don't think we're going to know it in an excuse-laden format. If somebody say, hey, look, we dropped the ball, or, whatever.
We found out we've got equipment that isn't working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michelle Wilson, you're exactly right. She says, I can't believe people asked if the water was safe for a dog to drink.
But I mean, then again, I was being somewhat facetious, considering dogs lick themselves and eat grass and poop and everything else.
Ash did point out that the $10 credit on your water bill was sufficient for his water, but that's mostly because he drinks like 3 fingers bourbon and a splash of water.
Yeah, if it went the other way around, wouldn't have been close. If I was water to whiskey,
that would
then
be a problem.
Then it'd be a problem.
Sure, we can bring in our friend. Oh,
Heather Stewart checking in.
Now he's a producer. Let us take a quick break.
No, he's a director.
We're going to bring in a guest. Folks, Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends on the 24th of this month. We will have Palace Bingo. It's going to be great. And it's always great. Palace Bingo is a great place for fun, great place to be. And we encourage you to go to Palace.
We'll always have a good time.
USA Concrete Coatings, 578-HOME. Reach out to Charlie Garcia and his team. They can sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it, whatever you want done to your concrete. If you want to put down an Astros logo, I don't know. Right now, we'll get to that in a little while.
Yeah.
Astros logo in your garage floor, USA Concrete Coatings.
Maybe Scott Tomko wants to put the Rangers logo down.
Absolutely. The office is at 205. Great office, great space, great acoustics. Come on in and check out where we're at. Veracruz Restaurant, best Mexican food in town. Get in. They will keep you up to date on when they can drink their water, when you can have their iced tea. Get by Veracruz this week. And then the chopping block today, certainly the trailer will be open for a plate lunch.
If you sign up for the customer loyalty program, you get 20% off your first purchase. They were open yesterday and they'll be open today. Let's see what else they got going on. That was today only, so you ain't going to get it. But I think they might still have the $12 fillets going on.
Yeah.
Go in and grab some of those if there's still any there.
And then Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen is your go-to. So we're going to be joined here in a second. I don't know what we're going to talk to Jim Nelson about. I'm very excited. Jim Nelson coming in from Texas A&M. He's actually out, and I'm going to let him tell us, but it's at the Ellis. I'm close. Rellis. Yeah, Rellis. The real Ellis.
Close.
It's out there. It's an Aggie thing. I'm a Texas grad. I don't care. I don't care. Let me get him in here. You got a microphone for him?
I do. Yep. He's mic'd up.
There you
Ready to go.
There's your audience right there. Mr. Ellis, welcome, sir. How are you?
Nelson.
Ellis.
Wait, you're all.
Is he Dr.
You're totally confused. Jim's good enough.
Jim, good morning. Just call me Jim. That works. That's good for politics.
Morning, Jim. How are you?
Morning. How you all doing? It's good to be here.
We're
with you
great,
this morning.
sir. It's great to have you here.
So, I mean, obviously the big news in the spring was the legislature passing a bill and the governor signing it in June to move the University of Houston Victoria into the Texas A&M system. And so you're here today to talk a little bit about that. What are some of the common misperceptions? Let's jump into those in the community as to what are they thinking this will mean that isn't what it means?
Well, the very first misperception that's out there is come September 1st, we're not going to require all UHV T-shirts and all UHV paraphernalia to be burned down on the court steps in County Hall. You can still wear your UHV logos and T-shirts and all that. UHV is a part of our history for the past 50 years, a little more than 50 years, and it's going to continue to be a part of our history. That part's not going to change. The colors are remaining unchanged. The Jaguar is going to continue to be the logo that we have. All of that's it's staying the same. But the big change you're going to see is what the logo looks like, the word marks, those kind of things. Obviously, UHV will be going away, and A&M Victoria will be coming in. I mean, those are the big changes that are going to be there.
And we're also hoping about an extra 5,000 students come in, Jim. No pressure.
Oh, I would love to see 5,000 more students. As you're all aware, we've had declining enrollments for the past 4 years. We got some initiatives into place right now that's going to hopefully level that decline out this next year and the build of momentum coming in. One of those, if we can get any support for, is the 12th Campus Initiative. It's a fundraising initiative right now. We'd like to raise $100,000 that we can use for immediate use scholarship. Kids that, for financial reasons, just aren't ready to get back into school or could take a little bit, a few more credit hours if they had some financial support. So we're trying to raise that. We're making great progress. We want to be able to use that this fall for immediate use funds, for students to get them back into school moving forward.
We have a large Texas A&M population, folks that are related to, tied to the university. And I realize that this is a totally separate, autonomous campus and all of that. But I think the pride of the A&M community will really surge through this project. I think you'll see Aggies taking pride in a system location in our community. And I think you're going to see student population really grow.
I think you're right that it's, A&M as a system, as a brand that's carried itself for a long, long time. And one of the things that just kind of stepping back and looking, and I'm a UHV, or not UHV, a UH graduate. I've been saying UHV too long. UH graduate, my graduate work there. And you compare the UH system versus the A&M system. UH is really more of an urban system. Yeah. Where the A&M system.
Cougar High.
Careful now. Says the Texas graduate.
Right.
I mean,
I'm here for you. What you saw last week? You saw last week where one of their professors was chirping about, we need to name it George Floyd University. And no kidding.
Yeah. Just
socialism garbage. It just won't fly in College Station. So we're proud of that.
But it's, with us being really more, rural, West Texas, A&M out in Canyon, Texarkana, Laredo, Kingsville, close. I think it's a much better fit. The things that we can bring to the table are going to be much better.
We've heard people ask about agriculture and engineering. Are we looking at both in our community?
Absolutely. Those are two of the things that is part of the legislation that came through. They want us to go ahead and implement an agricultural degree program, ag-related degree program, as well as engineering degree programs.
How long will those take? Because that won't be September 1. Those programs will be ready to go, right?
Ag, if everything goes right, we should be able to kick off September 1st, 26. Engineering, because of all the notifications and other things that have to occur, we're looking at probably 27. But with those, and this goes back to our commitment to the Victoria region, I'm looking at the Victoria region as the broad region. We want to really serve the needs of the industry here. What are the degree programs? What's the skill set that the students need to obtain so they can go to work here within the region? One of the things that I've just heard repeatedly since coming down is we're tired of bringing people in from Houston, training them for 3 to 5 years to the point they're highly productive. They go back to Houston or Dallas. We're really looking, and this is part of that 12th campus initiative, to get the kids from the region to come in to study with us, to go into industry here and remain within the region. And that's why we've got advisory boards put together to for both the ag as well as the engineering to identify, what is it that's really neat? What's the skill set that you need the students to have coming out?
What are some other skill sets, or what are some other degrees that you've heard kind of rise up from area businesses or industries that they're looking for?
So far, that's about it.
Okay.
I mean, within engineering, is it civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical? Those discussions are still going on, but those are the two big ones. The other degree program, which isn't new because of this, but it's getting off the ground. It's the aviation program. You just can't get away from aviation bad jokes.
Right.
Yeah, but
Just
the
getting that off the ground
program, we're moving that forward right now. That should be really released. September 26th is going to be the hard start for that degree program.
Okay.
Well, we'll hope that touches down lightly. As you look back, you and I first met in Austin during the session. You were there supporting Lois Colcourse, our senator, and our representative, AJ Louderback. And of course, you were there. The mayor was there. Judge Zeller was there. I was just there as an observer, but the contingent, Ashley Thomas, the folks that were so intimately involved. Take a second and explain to folks that this wasn't something that just came up one weekend on a napkin, that it took a while and a team of folks to make this happen.
It absolutely did. And it isn't just something with this legislative session. It actually started a couple of sessions ago. I'm not sure exactly how many, but 3 sessions ago, give or take, is when it first came up. The time it just wasn't right at that point. Well, coming into this session, the chancellor of the two systems got together. They chatted a bit. Now, this was a good thing to do, and really from there started moving. That Senator Kolkhorst drafted the legislation on the Senate side. Representative Louderbeck really had the same bill that he submitted on the House side, and it began to go through and just work. The community support was there. I think you saw it in Austin.
Yes, sir.
Day. The community support has just been unbelievable.
Yeah, really strong.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that kind of scares me with this whole transition. Normally you get into something like this and there's someone that's going to say, this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Why are you doing this?
Right.
Well, coming through with this transition, there's been absolutely nobody that has said that. Has just been completely community support.
Junior Samples adds, if you screw this up, you really need a parachute plan for any issues that fail. No, I agree. I haven't heard anybody.
There's been a few people out there going, well, this means tuition is going to go up. And that's simply not the case, right? I mean, UHV has traditionally been either, if not the best value, darn close to it as far as tuition. And that's not going to change. That's still a commitment from the A&M system, correct?
The tuition structure is going forward. It's unless something's changed here, we're the second lowest in the state right now for a public institution, which I think is a phenomenal.
I think what we need to do is double the price and make it more of an exclusive. Like give the illusion of exclusivity.
Why don't you recommend that to the new president when he comes in?
Right,
Harvard on the Guadalupe.
Yeah, Harvard on the Guadalupe. Here we are. So
when is the new president?
Yeah, who is that? What do we got going there?
Who we do not know at this point. The search is underway now. It's a closed search, which is the way A&M system does its presidential search. You get a better pool of candidates.
Right.
That way.
So that means if somebody's in a similar role, or maybe they're the dean of the School of Education somewhere, they can put their name in without being exposed to their current employer.
That's absolutely correct. And coming on the interview. So then sometime probably in the October time frame, somewhere in there, they're going to name the sole finalist, and then there's a statutory 21-day waiting period.
It's state mandated.
Yeah,
stuff.
you've got to wait 21 days after his name, but then the Board of Regents will vote on that individual, and the expectation right now is that the new president will take office January 1st.
So in the meantime, and in between time, has an interim been appointed, named, or what's going to happen there? Because we know Dr. Glenn's going to retire at the end of August.
Yeah, Bob's retiring.
It's you, Ash. Yeah. You're in charge until then.
No, I wouldn't wish that on Ash.
Right. Tell me this.
But going back to Ash, one will be named, at the point in time.
Okay.
A bunch of things got to get lined up. Dr. Hallmark is
I'm
really coordinating all that.
I'm available. Tell me, so just a personal aside for our listeners, you've been at the Rellis campus, which is kind of out by the airport on the southwest side of College Station. What will you go back to Rellis? Or what is your plan? Or were you there in the same role that you're here?
No, when this whole thing with Victoria came up, when I was asked to, facilitate the coordination of this, help with the coordination on site.
Yes, sir.
I basically, moved away from my responsibilities at Rellis. No, I'm not going back to that. Probably retire come January. I'm an old guy.
Wow. Hey, you gotta wonder what he screwed up to get banished down to Victoria. It's like,
this is heaven down here.
No, it is. It's nice. It's very nice. And don't drink the water, but it's very nice.
Till tomorrow at the earliest.
Right.
We have a question for Wendy Hughes Garcia. Will A&M look to expand allied health programs to include graduate level programs?
All that is going to be looked at in due time. For the next 6 months, I would not expect radical changes. And really the new president comes in and he or she needs to, assess where things are going, where do they want to take the university, what are their strategic goals and strategic initiatives, and be able to set that forward. So what we're trying to do right now is really have a very smooth transition, get the students on board, get a lot of the systems.
It seems to be going well.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
So far,
I'm close to it too. How does A&M's system operate a campus compared to what the UH system is? What will the community? What will the community? What will the community notice?
Well, the biggest difference is going to be the UH system is highly centralized. So a lot of the HR systems, the development systems, scholarship systems, all that are really all put together in Houston, and everybody draws from that.
Czar Couture.
The A&M system, on the other hand, is highly diversified. So that's where a lot of those things we've got to, work through the process, get them separated, get them put into place
The
here in
Aggies spread
Victoria.
the blame. That's smart. That's smart.
So
Spread it
so
out.
degrees and the ability to react to market pressures or forces would be local rather than having to go to College Station and be kind of directed back.
Predominantly, yes. I mean, still the approval process that you have to go through.
Yeah, and
But a lot
state
of that's
approval's
initi-
needed
yeah,
as well and all that.
System approvals that,
Yeah.
we propose things here as long as there's a viable plan, there's a good return on the investment, then the Board of Regents would vote to move that forward. Then you've got the coordinating board approvals. You got the accrediting body, SACS, COC in our case. Those approvals go forward. But it's all initiated locally, moved up to address local needs. And really, that's one of the things I think is exciting. We talked about the community support. One of the things what I really want to kind of set the tone, the culture here in the next few months is that this is our university, not just those of us on campus, but it's those of us on campus, but also the entire community. Let's make
Yes,
this
sir.
our university as we come together. Let's together make it one of the best.
Something Ash doesn't talk about much, but it like blew my mind when I was educated on this. Is I think a lot of people are going to say, "Oh man, now that A&M's coming in, I mean, boy, our athletic budget's going to go through the roof and all that." It's important for people to understand that A&M doesn't just send a check for a couple million down from CSTAT.
No, they don't. That the institutions truly are their own individual entities. Now, there's support and some things that we can get from the system, but there's not going to be, as you said, a big blank check that's sent down and just fill in the amount that you need.
See right here, Torrin Bale says, any plans for sports facilities to be expanded? I mean,
Yes.
I think there are plans, and I think there's community support from other Aggies to make that happen. So there you go. I mean, when you're trying to get that U of H dollar and those people are working at Long John Silver's, I mean, you can't pull that.
We were
moving
moving
the state guy from the Cougar
I know.
over here.
We were moving that way, and then with all of this, we kind of put things on the back burner. But we'll be moving forward with some of these things again from an athletic perspective.
And again, it's working with the new president.
Yeah, exactly.
When that individual's on board, and really charting that strategy. What is needed the most. I know, as you got a lot of ideas of where things are going, facilities and all that. That will come in time. Just don't expect to see it. In next
September
year.
1.
Yeah, it won't happen.
We're not lifting a tent on brand new facility September 1.
I don't know how to phrase this so I can get a yes or no. That when you look at what your observation has been over time, is it more likely that because I don't know anybody, I don't know any of the candidates, is it more likely that a president coming here might promote or move over from another is it more likely they would do that from another A&M facility, or is it just as likely they would come from the outside? And just from your experience, is one better than the other? Me personally, I'd love to see somebody that knows what it's like to be an Aggie. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides. And again, I've got no idea at all what is in that pool. I've heard that it's a strong pool, but that's all I know at this point. I think a lot of it depends upon the individual. Somebody internal knows those systems and stuff. But at the other hand, somebody from outside brings in some fresh ideas, a different perspective, something that they've seen work elsewhere that they can bring down. And as I've said for a long time, what will be A&M Victoria is an absolute bird's nest on the ground. The next president coming in has got some phenomenal opportunities. The community support is unbelievable coming forward. It's just really, it'll be a very, very exciting time.
It should be.
For that
I think Brent just said something though that kind of didn't trigger a question, but more a comment. There's a misperception that all of a sudden we're all Aggies now, and that's just not the case, right?
No.
There's one school that's Aggies.
There's one school that's Aggies. We will be the Jaguars.
There's Javelinas. There's
A&M San Antonio is also the Jaguars, but that's okay. There's room for both.
So hey, you know what you do is you kind of got to talk out of both sides, right? So we're not Aggies, but we sure want that Aggie money. So if you're an Aggie in Victoria, we want you to be a Jaggy.
Well, but there's a support there because A&M, what I've seen around the state talking to the folks that I know at other A&M institutions that are in the NAIA, Aggies in those communities support those universities. They may not have gone to Texas A&M, Texarkana. They may not have gone to Texas A&M, San Antonio, but they went to Texas A&M, and because they're proud of A&M and the A&M system, they're supporting those institutions in their hometowns or where they are.
Absolutely.
And there's very few schools that doesn't happen at the UT system. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
With the
No,
UT
that's
schools I know, the Longhorn graduates, they're not supporting the
That's right.
UTSAs or the UT Dallases. It's
Yeah,
a unique system in that regard.
We're actually often getting beat by those programs. UTSA beat us in baseball a couple of times this year.
Yeah. But I think what you're saying though is absolutely correct. It's we've got our campus family, the College Station campus, the flagship campus, the Texarkana campus, the Kingsville campus. We're very proud of that. That's kind of our immediate family, if you will. But the A&M system is our extended family, and we're really here supporting the extended family as well as the immediate family. And that I think is very unique about the A&M system.
Have you met my buddy Manny Vela down in the Valley?
I think so.
Yeah. He's been very active with what is it? A&M RGV? What do they call it down there?
No, it's UTRG.
What are they-
UTRGV.
What is the A&M program down there?
There's a higher education center in McAllen.
Okay. There you go. A&M San Antonio is a phenomenal
It is.
place. I went over there.
You've been
Judge
on that
Zeller,
campus?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Judge Zeller received an award over there, and I went over and just the lady that was
No
there
pressure,
was,
but Bear County's only given about $20 million over the last
right. But she
6
took
years.
You've been there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
But
many
I
times.
went into that building and she said, pretty much everything you can see. We have 700 acres here. And I just went, wow, that's phenomenal.
And they got Toyota on the back side of that property.
Just fantastic.
And that's a beautiful campus too.
Oh
You
yeah.
walk
Well,
up
it's
to that
being
main building with
master
those-
planned.
yeah.
The buildings.
You
are all
you
beautiful.
mentioned ag. Is there plan? Are there plans? Has there been discussion to? I mean, I can't imagine doing ag without land. Is that something that's been discussed or
It
talked about?
Depends on which side of agriculture you start to go with.
Okay.
There's agribusiness, which is
Which you don't
probably where we're going to be starting, which is really the management side and all that. Again, it's going to be, what the broad need is evolving over time. That if you start getting into, some of the animal things, you need the farms, the
Absolutely.
land. There's a
Crop
whole
science,
We got
all that
land
sort of
infrastructure
stuff.
that
Yeah.
comes in.
Well, except for not right where the campus is. It's landlocked, so you'd have to look outside of Victoria for that. So
Absolutely. What else is going on, Ted? Is there anything that you
Well,
came today
the
hoping to
big
share?
thing is I hope everybody comes out for is on September 4th, a Thursday evening from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. There's going to be a big event down in the square. It's a family event. Come on down, bring the family, bring the kids. There'll be food trucks. There's going to be music. There's going to be, proclamations from the city and the county. It's just going to be a fun night, a really and truly a family night as we come together and celebrate the kickoff, because that's really going to be the first week of class. Class starts on the 2nd. There'll be a couple of sports events just before that because of schedules, but classes start the 2nd. And that was really by design. This 1 year alone, we're pushing the start of the semester 1 week forward just so kids aren't registering as UHV and then 3 days later they become A&M Victoria.
Right.
So that's this year only, which pushes graduation up until a little bit before Christmas. But that September 4th, as I've often said, be on the square, be square that evening.
There
Here
you
you
go.
go.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And by the way, between now and then, we'll continue to promote that.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good. Jim, appreciate you stopping by.
and we
this
really
morning.
appreciate you coming by.
Thanks much. Enjoyed visiting
And
with you.
Has Victoria been good to you?
Oh, they've been perfect. Yeah. Like I say, the community support's just been absolutely unbelievable. It's just been fun since I, got involved. Really started coming down here every week since the 20th of April.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. And we know that you know what you're doing. So that
Well,
gives
don't put
us,
that kind of pressure on me now.
gives us some comfort. Well, have a great week. And what we'll do is we'll take a break and then let you slide out. But have a good one and keep us in your loop.
Sounds
okay?
good. Got any questions? Give me a holler.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Thanks,
Jim
Jim.
Nelson from Texas A&M here to help with the transition period to A&M Victoria. Very excited about that. Folks, White Trash Services and White Trash Site Services for all your trash-tastic needs. Reach out to 550-1826. The Nelsons can help you. And
Not Jim Nelson, BJ and Scott.
BJ and Scott. Take care, Jim. Super nice gentleman, was very, very cordial the first time I even met him.
That's odd.
In Austin.
They're usually not that
most people
cordial when
don't
you
like
meet them.
me, especially once they get to know me. White Trash Services will be there for you. Reach out to them. Chestnut Furniture. Chestnut and Love make your house a home. get by this week and see why you just always do better at Chestnut. Fantastic group of folks. Bobby Leon being at the head of that organization, as his family has been for over 100 years.
Since it was founded.
Reach out to Commander Cody. You can find him on Facebook. Brand us on Facebook.
You can find him here in the mornings.
You can find him
most
here too.
mornings.
Yeah, but you can also if you have a question for Cody, just put it in the comment section there on Facebook or YouTube, because Cody monitors that for us, and he'll respond. Adsenhover and adsenhover.com.
We'll respond directly to you. We don't need our chat feed filled up with Cody's business stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cody just trying to throw you a bone, man. Ash is like dollar a holla, dollar a holla. Adsenhover and adsenhover.com, your source for your next vehicle, whether
brand new Chevrolet, brand new Mitsubishi, pre-owned,
whatever, they've got it.
They'll service any make.
You can cruise online at adsenhover.com and then go in and see the vehicle you want to see. They'll take you out on it. The other day,
what people don't realize, you bought a pre-owned
I did
Bronco
from
Raptor,
Adsenhover.
from Adsenhover, and they service it for you.
And you know what? I got a phone call the other day from my sales guys. I just want to make sure you knew that it was 1 year ago today that you bought that car. Have you been happy? If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. That's the Adsenhover difference.
And we got a 1 year newer model on the lot. Did he tell you that too?
Hey, come on in. We can trade that rig in. Yeah, no kidding. Went Services and Went Electrical. Aaron Went had a birthday over the weekend. I think
yes, he did.
Send him a note. Aaron and his team can help you if you need a generator, if you want a Generac American-made generator, backup generator, whole house.
They are a Generac preferred dealer, so and so they get the best prices on Generac. They pass those savings on to you. Plus, they're a one-stop shop for the installation, everything from start to finish with a backup home generator. Went's got you covered. You don't have to mess with it. You make a call, tell them you want it done, then it gets done.
I'm encouraged by the comments. People like Andrew Alvarez saying, "Hey, I want to like to see more of a music program." Somebody else saying, "I'm
going to tell you with music,
Greg saying
very expensive to begin."
Well, that and also it'd be true to begin basketball with it. And the other thing is, somebody said I'd like to see more of a commitment to the arts, and I agree. A nation without arts is a floundering nation, no doubt about it.
Tammy Keeling, economic impact of a university and a community is huge, deserves community support. Wondering about the economic impact of Texas A&M University on Bryan College Station region.
Well,
there would be no
Bryan.
There'd be no College Station. There'd be Bryan,
Station.
but College Station wouldn't exist.
No, College Station would not exist without Texas A&M.
And I think if you look at the UHV campus, there's $100 million in buildings that have been built.
Yeah.
So
it did blow my mind several years ago when John Sharp decided that Texas A&M would donate $1 million to College Station to help with infrastructure. And I'm like, College Station is a city. If I'm them, I can't spend enough on infrastructure. I mean, I can't. I found it really odd that that the generator of all income in that region donated. You can call it generous. I actually, thought it was somewhat mismanaged, to be honest. I'm like, why am I giving you money? You ought to be giving me money and building better roads.
Well, probably because those roads wouldn't have to exist if there was no College Station there.
Well,
no A&M campus.
So it's a chicken or the egg thing, kind of, I guess. It was nice. I'm sure the folks in College Station spent it wisely.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Don't question John Sharp. That's kind of like one of the rules.
Yeah, you might end up in a swamp somewhere.
Could.
You might end up in Alligator, Alcatraz.
Speaking of, have you ever heard more whining? There's 32 people to a cage, and they get their water from the same place that their toilet is. Folks, these are stainless steel units. They're made for prisons. They're made for detention centers where you've got a self-contained unit. You sit it on the ground. It's got a toilet, and then there's like a sidewall to provide some privacy. And at the top of that sidewall is a sink. It's no different than any other jail, detention center. Come on.
Listen to CNN. Dozens of detainees are housed in each cell where they experience sweltering heat, bug infestations,
then leave.
Meager meals, and a lack of privacy.
Self-deport. That was the option. Take the $1,000, take the free plane ride, and go.
Yeah. Instead, you got Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz going, they're packed into cages, wall to wall.
Yeah, it's
32
so inhumane.
detainees per cage. You know what?
3 hots, a cot.
Shouldn't have come here illegally.
That's right. 0, 0, 0.
The detainees are having to use these sinks for drinking water and to brush their teeth.
Well, at least
the
they can.
humanity.
At least they can. I mean, I got this here in Victoria.
There's 900 people currently in there. I thought it was supposed to hold up to 5,000. That tells me it's probably, they got a lot of room.
Then you got somebody the other day was going to cost $450 million, which I don't think it did.
I don't think it did
I
either.
don't think it did either. $450 million divided by 5,000, blah, blah, blah. It's so much per person. It's just, come on, people. And then you got the people going out of their minds saying, this is exactly when Hitler started Auschwitz. It was a deportation center. Can we get off that? Trump is not. There are no ovens. We're not exterminating anybody. We're asking people politely at first, if you're not from here and you didn't come here legally, go home.
Bye-bye.
But if you didn't, you might end up in Rwanda. Remember that? That was a month ago.
Yeah.
Well, now you're ended up in Florida in a swamp.
Andrew
and they were
Alvarez
saying
criminals being treated like criminals. Oh my.
It's unbelievable. I heard one the other day that they said these people are going through the whole gamut from freezing temperatures to sweltering heat. I go, there ain't no freezing temperatures.
Not right
in
now
South
in Florida.
swamp.
No. Probably never in where that thing is located in Florida.
But you got to wonder why the left is so alarmist oriented. It's not because they really care about people. They kill babies for fun. It's not like they really care about people. What they care about is votes. What they care about is sustaining the numbers that come from the current census situation where everybody gets counted.
For the Electoral College.
That's right.
And for the entitlement program dollars that feed into those states. California is going to be hit the hardest by all this because they are getting so much federal dollars. Yet Gavin Newsom has caused his own financial problems in California, and he was blaming the Trump administration, yet he was cutting Medi-Cal.
Yeah.
By significant amounts, but didn't want to tell anybody because Medi-Cal is going bankrupt. And when they figured out they were going to lose $9 for every dollar they put in, it was really going to hurt.
Well, they put all their money into giving free services to illegals.
Yeah.
And then the other day they acted like the Main Street media was focused on the idea that ICE agents showed up at a farm and that there were kids there and they were arresting children. The fact is there were, I think, a dozen undocumented. They weren't there with anybody. They were minors. They took them into custody for their own protection at a marijuana farm. I mean, come on, people, get the truth.
What are they paying them in bales of weed?
Oh, well, it's not a bad deal.
Torrin Bale says, I'm sure they're treated much better than if you entered illegally into their countries. Absolutely.
No doubt. It's a felony going to Mexico uninvited. It's a felony, minimum 2 years in prison. And they would love to make a point out of you.
The flight crew, when you go to Mexico, you better make sure you fill this form out correctly or you may not get into the country.
That's exactly right.
Right? I mean, that's the threat they basically give you.
That's exactly right. Don't take ammo. Don't take weapons.
Nobody cries out for the people who are trying to come legally to this country and they get turned away at the border because our CBP personnel find something in somebody's past or something of their story isn't quite adding up. And they say, you know what? Sorry you landed here, but you're going home.
Go back and straighten that out.
Yeah. Sorry. Nobody complains about them, but you came here illegally, broke our rules, our laws. And you want us to just excuse it and look away? The problem with that is the minute you start letting people break laws, it's a slippery slope. What's the next law you're going to allow them to break?
Right.
Oh, they're just stealing because they're hungry and they're illegal and they don't get help from the government. Oh, they're just rioting for better conditions here.
The
as
left is already
illegals.
for both of those things.
Yeah, I know.
They're already for both of those things. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it at rallies. Oh, let them steal. Those businesses have insurance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
What did Peter say? We need what?
They're already relaxing the rules. We need farm labor. Another
No,
Trump
that's
and
a
pony show.
misconception. That's a misconception. And there are what Trump has done in practice. You know, at first he said, I'm going to back off on hotel workers and farmers and all that. But then for publicity or for the public, he went back and said, nope, we're cracking down. But they haven't. They haven't cracked down.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky King brings up a good point. There's riots right now and protests in Mexico City, rioting against legal residents, legal visitors, because they're blaming them for the problems in Mexico now. The difference is they're there legally. The Mexican government let them in. They didn't sneak across the border from Guatemala or the U.S., went into Mexico City and started demanding meals and accommodations from the government. They went there legally. They're spending their dollars. They're supporting the economic system.
I wonder, Ash, what percentage, if we look at it, you would think that there would be more Mexican illegals here just due to proximity. But I wonder if we look at who's actually being deported.
Well, you don't hear of many Mexicans.
How many are Venezuelan, Honduran, Guatemalan? Those are the ones that
Iranian, Chinese.
Yes. Every Chinese who's here illegally should be gone. Every one of them. They're absolutely an enemy of this country. There's no getting around it.
I mean, what did I hear last week? Like 13 Iranians, all with ties to like terrorism, apprehended, found to be here illegally.
All of them with the last name Khomeini. I don't know. What does it mean? Is it a problem? Could be.
Yeah. Well, and then what was up here? Ricky King. Yeah. They want them to go home. They're there legally and own property. Well, depending on where you are in Mexico, if you're not Mexican, you can't own property.
Certainly can't own on the coast.
On the coast.
No.
Inland, you can. You can own a piece. You can own a building, but it's on like a forever lease. You never actually own the land. It's an interesting system.
Peter McKnight says that's the word, Brent, publicity. Trump is the master of that. I go back to Ronald Reagan as well, being kind of the master of the substantive quote. I don't know. I asked Ash this morning, I made a note when I got here. I said, where are we at on Gaza, Ukraine, Epstein, LA? Where are we? We've been consumed, and rightfully so, with it shows you the power of local news, regional news, how important what's happening right here is. Our water, Kerrville's challenges. Kerrville is still, that area is still flooding. Lampasas, that up in that area was just brutally flooded.
Trump's also a very good Sardonian there, Peter.
Yeah.
He's very good at making it appear like he's praising you and he's actually lambasting you.
Yep.
Clayton Hell says, I bring 10 here every year legally to work, and they are good people. They need to make it easier for them to get vetted to become citizens. I have no problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that either, Clayton. In fact, Ash and I have talked about the idea that those that are here, rather than offer them some type of amnesty, if you've got a clean record, if you have a job, not if you're looking for a job, if you have a job and you work for someone, let's say that somebody worked for you and you're like, okay, look, this guy's not legal, but I've had him for 5 years and, he's not slave labor. I pay him just like I pay my other guys. In fact, he runs the concrete crew. Fine. That guy can't become a citizen and he won't ever vote and he doesn't count in the census. But other than that, give him a permanent visa and let him work. If he likes this lifestyle, and by the way, I want to tax what he sends out of the country 30%. If he wants to spend it here, that's fine. He wants to send.
I think if you started taxing the dollars that go out via Western Union and everybody else, I think the illegal immigration problem would go away
itself.
Yeah.
There's billions of dollars every year across that border. And while to us, $1 billion on the U.S. side is just, a rounding error. in Mexico, it's a lot of money. $1 billion, a lot of money.
Yeah, Trump threatening more tariffs over the weekend. I haven't followed this too closely, but I did see this story that almost nobody but the Epic Times is reporting. $27 billion budget surplus in June thanks to tariffs.
Oh, don't give Trump any credit for that. By the way, it was a year ago yesterday that a lone gunman took a shot at the president, clipped his ear. People have questioned whether he really got shot, whether the shots were real. I feel for the families of the firemen and the other gentlemen that were killed. You know, like they didn't die. They didn't fake it. Those people were killed.
They're dead.
But at any rate, it was a year ago, and it was a tragic error by the deep state to attempt to kill Trump. Had he not turned his head, and I remember listening to him in the days after that, just said, I feel like, he goes, I've always believed in God, but he goes, I feel like I was spared for a reason, and I'm here for a reason. And I tend to agree with him. Is he a flawed vessel? Absolutely. As was Abraham, Moses, Noah,
All of us.
King David, all of us. Yeah, but from Solomon, Samson, they were all flawed. They all had flaws. I think that's what God, but none of us are worthy.
Jabba the
right?
Hutt.
So as a result, yes, Darth Vader, none of us are worthy. And it just goes to show that God can use whatever is willingly given to him.
BJ Nelson says if you tax the illegals' money, they need to become citizens and vote.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't agree at all.
Nope. If they're
illegals,
if
it's romantic, but I don't agree.
Nope.
You got here illegally.
Give them permanent resident status, and that's all.
That's all you get.
That's the best offer they should ever get.
Yep.
And I'm not even thinking if they're here illegally, they should even be offered that. I don't know.
She's going back to the very roots of the Constitution, taxation without representation. But I'm saying that there's the problem. If you are here illegally, you don't have the same rights. I'm sorry.
Need a better way to become a citizen, says BJ. As someone who's gone through the process, it's not that difficult. It takes time. It takes money. It takes effort. In fact, if you did it yourself, it wouldn't take as much money, but you still have to be diligent and follow the rules. And those that I know who didn't follow the rules, but were trying to do it legally, guess what? They get deported as well.
Yep.
They get told, you know what? You screwed up here. You can't try this again for another 3 years or whatever the penalty they put on you.
Junior's right. The Secret Service detail was on Biden's watch. And obviously, the left had no desire to protect Donald Trump. Can you go up there one more and read what Andrew always has a good point? Go ahead and read that.
I'm curious now as to how the investigation of those who were supposed to be protecting Donald Trump is going to go. Apparently they weren't even technically Secret Service, but another agency. He forgets the name right off. They didn't have any formal training on protecting the president. That's just something that he heard.
It was like a 6 foot and under
last
league.
week, right?
Yeah. There is an investigation going on into, was this allowed to happen? And I would have to say my brain says, yeah, it was allowed to happen.
Monty Howard says that's budget surplus in June is a big story in his perspective. It's tariff-driven revenue that could displace income taxes if the numbers continue, I'm assuming, to climb or increase. Here's the other thing. Our inflation has not risen dramatically. It's where it was in Trump's first term.
Don't let the truth get in the way of the theory-driven hysteria. See, the left will spread fear. And we told you at the beginning, we told you right here, these tariffs are going to be short-term and they're not going to hurt you. Sorry about your coffee. But at the end of the day, the idea that everything's going to go right through the roof is just not accurate. And it hasn't been shown to be accurate. So you would think by now,
after running a $316 billion deficit in May, the government recorded a surplus of a little more than $27 billion, according to Treasury Department data that was released on July 11th, which was Friday. It's interesting they put that on a Friday. That should have been something they put out like Monday so we could actually celebrate it.
It's us that's putting it out on Monday.
Yeah. Last year, the government recorded a $71 billion deficit in June of 2024. The key driver, according to the Treasury Department, was the record-breaking surge in customs duties. There you go.
There you go. Anybody wants to come in from the city to visit, if you want to come in from the county and gloat about how you're not the city, that would be great. If somebody wants to come in and explain this.
Yeah, I never thought we'd have a boil water notice and Bloomington didn't.
Wow. Think about that. Salmonella. Anyway, nobody got sick. Nobody's going to get sick. It's kind of like when your fuel gauge says empty, you know you've got 15 more miles. Come on, people. Hang in there. Have a great day. It's a Monday. Go get them.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.
Every bar around.